Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Buds One Podcast, episode 42. I am your host, the Techno. I almost said Alchem Games again. The Techno Jelly with my co-host Alchem Games, and one day I'll get it right. Honestly, last week I did it fine. Last week was fine.
Order.
I don't know why. It's because I'm thinking about not to say Alchem Games, and I think Alchem Games, so I want to say Alchem Games.
I'm in his mind. Got it. I've already got it. Yeah.
But, it's whatever sometimes. But this week, I've actually got I got one relatively follow-up from last week, because Alchem, you and I were talking about a lot about Monster Hunter Wilds, talking about it, thinking about it, talking about what we liked, what we disliked. Well, it turns out, Alchem, I can't remember if we talked specifically about this, but we were talking about, it was selling really well. And it turns out we underestimated how well it was selling. Because we talked about how, it had, over 1 million players on Steam and stuff. It isn't the best-selling Monster Hunter game. It's the best-selling Capcom game ever.
Isn't it ranked third in terms of best games?
I don't...
Or best-selling?
I don't know if it was that, but it's literally Capcom's fastest-selling game ever.
It really did sell really well. It performed
so well. It sold crazy amounts. Literally because we were one day away, or we were only a couple days from when it launched, but it is Capcom's fastest selling game ever. And I mean, hey, the game's still amazingly fun. I unfortunately haven't played that much more since we last talked about it, but I mean, I know you've played a bunch more, and a ton of other people have played a bunch more, and it really is just a sad thing of the PC performance is so bad for so many people that it really sucks, because the game is really good in my opinion. And it's one of those things where I'd actually say if you have a console and you're okay with playing on console, then I think you should buy the console version of this game. The PC version of the game is such a wild roll of the dice if it works or not.
If you have the gear for it, go for it.
You need a top end PC to play this game. If you have medium or lower specs, you just can't play this game. It's just gonna crash on you and lag out constantly. There's no way. What's with the hand?
Just no way. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust something. My bad.
It's okay. I was like, what are you doing? I thought you were trying to do a sign or something like that. I'm like, what? What does that mean? PC specs or something? I was so confused. But yeah, it's honestly, it's nice to see Capcom doing so well, because Capcom, in my opinion, and I'm sure you agree with me, Alchem, with this, is that they're a AAA studio, but they're still one of the good ones. They've had don't get me wrong, they've had their missteps. But compared Capcom to all the other AAA studios, I'd take a Capcom mess up over any others. Sure, they've made some terrible multiplayer Resident Evil games and stuff like that, and Street Fighter V was kind of a disaster, but they're better than EA, Blizzard, and a lot of other companies, right? And they're still making some good games too. What?
Sure, yeah. Sorry, I'm still remembering some of their weird. I will always look back at Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate, and
what was a bad thing about that?
Back then, Capcom was known to just put out multiple versions of a game.
Oh yeah, the same game.
Any other fighters, yeah.
But they haven't done that in years.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm still hung up about it, and I'll never let them live it down.
Yeah, but it's better. I would say it's better. I mean, it's better to be salty about something they did 10 years ago rather than all the stuff Blizzard does or EA. We're literally we're gonna be talking about EA later, so. But I understand. Yeah, obviously, being with so many things with Capcom, I'm not saying they're a perfect thing, but Capcom is still one of the companies that I would still have way more positives than negatives, especially in the AAA, in the big budget AAA space. Considering,
I'm
because like
still thinking of Dead Rising 4 that doesn't, Dead Rising 5 that doesn't exist. 5, 4? I forget
I
which
think it
one
was
it was.
4. I think it was 4.
I think it was, yeah, I think it was that.
I
I
mean,
don't remember
they're
anyway.
at
It
least
doesn't
still.
exist.
I mean, here's the thing, Alchem. They're still making those games and care about them. I mean, like the Dead Rising remake or remaster was good, wasn't it? Like that was a good one.
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Actually, it looks like a lot of fun. I just played the original again because honestly, it still holds a very good dear place in my heart.
I mean, as long as you're okay with the fact that this game was made in like prime 360 era, and you're okay with that,
Mhm.
then the game's amazing. But like, if you can't
Mhm.
get over some of the quirks of like this is a 360 game, uh, yeah, I think that would mess a lot of people up. But if you're okay with that, then it's great.
Yeah, which
Hmm.
I was okay with. It was fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, Capcom with its shortcomings, some of its weird decision making, some of the weird releases that it's had in the past, or cancellations of. I will not forget you, sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
remembering
it's
some of
true.
the games that I.
Everything okay.
But you're
Outside
right.
of Mega Man, Capcom has done pretty well with most of its franchise. Mega Man is a sad story though.
You're right though. For the most part, like Capcom, in terms of compared to like at least stuff in the recent
At
year or
least
two.
the last couple years has been like just constant disappointments from basically every AAA studio
Mm-hmm.
except for
Just,
Capcom, I would say.
just just
And
poor decision making,
yeah.
downright to the point of almost incompetence. But I don't want
Yeah.
to say that because that just sounds.
No,
But
it's incompetence. It's incompetence with the other
yes,
studios, 100%.
some of the studios, yeah, literally. I don't want to sound rude, but it just sounds like the poor decision making is just either misguided or just you either had like misguided or just sheer incompetence that led to
I think it's
the stuff that's
both.
happened in the past few years.
I think it's both. It's incompetence and misguided information because they think because like they just don't understand.
Money.
Yeah, well, it's that, and they just don't understand how the video game industry works. Like they just don't get it, you know. But Capcom still gets it a little bit. They still make plenty of bad decisions and terrible decisions, but they at least still understand that they're in the video game industry. They're not pretending they're in the video game industry. You know what I mean? Like some of these
Honestly,
other
as long as
companies are.
in Monster Hunter terms, all you have to do is just have them fight the monster.
Yeah.
Hell, they don't even every new release doesn't even need to have like a slew of new monsters. Just add one or two of them. Just add maybe 3 or 4, and then bring back some of the old classic favorites.
Yeah.
People love them,
And that's what they've been
and
doing.
people
To be
love
fair.
the classic favorites. Yeah, it works. The formula works.
And like Monster Hunter Wilds arguably has like the most. I would say like they tried the most with the story, and for a lot of people, I think for a lot of people they missed. But I mean, like, I'm fine with them trying to have a cooler story in Monster Hunter. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if that's the worst thing, and obviously performance, but like if that's like the worst thing that people are complaining about in Monster Hunter Wilds, like oh their cutscenes are too long, they're not well paced. I'm like oh that's a fine problem to have. I'm cool with them trying stuff outside of the gameplay. Well, it's like when didn't they initially like rework one of the weapons and then everyone like there was such a huge outcry that they apologized and reverted it or something like that. I remember something like that.
Yeah.
So like Capcom still gets it that they're a video game company at least. And like honestly, the fact that like the Monster Hunter games have been going on for so long says that, you know, it is only a Capcom thing because like it's true that Monster Hunter is Monster Hunter Wilds is the fastest selling Capcom game ever. Capcom doesn't make multiple like they're not $1 billion game company, you know? Like Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Dead Rising, like all these games, they sell relatively well, but they're not making Fortnite money, you know? And like they're not making League money or Dota money or Counter-Strike money. So like they still I still think like they're making millions and millions, don't get me wrong, but like they're still at least somewhat grounded where the fact that they're still making games for gamers, you know what I mean? Like no no mom is gonna go buy Resident Evil, you know? Like no random person on the street knows Resident Evil or Monster Hunter. Maybe Street Fighter. Street Fighter is probably their most well known. I would argue. Especially since Mega Man has been dormant for like 400 years. But yeah. To go along with that, Alchem, did you see that? So you remember the first cutscene you got into the village?
Yeah.
The the food scene during it with the
Oh
cooking.
yes. Yeah.
Do you know that non cheese bread has sold out in Japan? Like so many people were buying non bread, like the non style bread with the cheese sauce, like in the game, that they were literally running out. Like they literally sold out in Japan. Like there was a couple restaurants saying they had to go to during the restaurant hours, they had to go to grocery stores to buy more cheese because they literally ran out of cheese because there were so many people buying it.
This explains so many TikToks I've been watching.
Oh,
everyone just been recreating the food.
Yeah, it's the food.
You're just recreating the goddamn food for your TikTok. Well, also because you want to try it because it does.
I mean, to be fair, cheese
really
non-bread with cheese sauce is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's so funny to me because it's just like
Monster Hunter sparks a gourmet like.
I mean, to be fair, the food looks amazing. Have you seen the TikTok? Have you seen the TikToks where they actually? There's this guy on TikTok that recreates the cutscenes.
Yeah, I just saw him.
He's actually really good.
I literally
he's good. Yeah, he has the outfits and everything too.
He does, and I'm like, holy crap! You actually replicated it so well.
Yeah. The only thing I criticize is that he doesn't use a knife. He uses a fork. I'm like, hey man, just use a knife. Like, why aren't you using a knife?
I will say that since Worlds, at least, they really did shine when it comes to the presentation of how the food is prepared.
Yeah, well, that's because they can actually have the graphics go wild.
I know.
They can actually.
I'm just like, why did you need to do this? You could have just had them. You could have just had it where you just sit down, you just order the food, it just slides towards your table or something, or Palico just brings it up to you, and there you go. No, they have a scene where you see the chef.
No, yeah, it has to be
the
crazy.
Chef preps the food, the carves the meat. You see it getting seasoned, you see it getting flavored, you see all that stuff. And it carried over to Rise, although Rise did more like Eastern style food. And now you have Wilds where you don't have a Palico cooking.
I'm still sad that Palico. I want there to be one cutscene where the Palico
I know. Actually, I actually wanted that too. They did say they're going to start that the next update will include. I don't think it's this update, but I think it's a new update coming later that they reintroduce a gathering hub. So I'm thinking maybe that they'll reintroduce the Chef Palicos again.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I love watching those cutscenes, man. The Palico is just so happy about food. It's just so nice.
I love that one, especially the grill cat when he's just cooking and everything. He's so proud. His arms crossed, looking at his great work. And then just at the end, you just see him add that little bit of I forget what it's called, rosemary or something like that. That little thing.
A green thing on it, right?
Yeah, he just adds that little green thing on it. It's like done. Perfect. Just that small little touch, and just that kind of flavor text or not flavor text, but that kind of detail.
It's
just
world
makes
building.
The game even
they
more
enjoy
fun.
their job. You know, it's like world building, but also just cool to see.
Yeah. But again, because of these little things, and because they still continue to follow the same formula, that is tried and tested, still works, and still loved by all.
Yep.
Everyone loves the game. They added quite a plethora of new monsters. Granted, some of them are just the Guardian versions or souped up versions of previous monsters, but still.
But those are always cool.
Yeah, it's still awesome to see some of the fan favorites come back.
Yeah.
And be like, oh look, a new coat of paint. And they're a little tougher. They're more creative, and so it's nice. Plus, getting to see some new monsters that you never fought before, I love some of the new monsters, although some of them are pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I
But
still
I
need to
just love
play.
seeing
I still
some
need to play. I'm still very far behind. I still haven't beaten the campaign.
and
I'm still only a
and
couple
yeah,
hours in, basically.
and because of that, for lack of wanting to like spill or
Yeah,
like maybe spoil stuff, I haven't mentioned any monsters, so
yeah.
I'm not trying to
I
spoil
mean,
it
to
for
be
anyone
fair,
who
I
may
I
not have gotten that
probably
far.
wouldn't know the names of them anyway, but yeah, I understand. Um, but yeah, literally their fastest selling game ever.
Hmm.
Not the most sales in general, but just the fastest. To be fair, it's also only like what, a couple weeks old still. So I feel
Yeah,
like this might be Capcom's best selling game, but we'll see.
we're
We'll
gonna
see.
get more Monster Hunter in the future, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean they're at least doing DLC for this one. I don't think it was ever
Hmm.
in question that they wouldn't do more Monster Hunter.
No, I'm just yeah. Unless this thing tanked and didn't sell well.
Like I don't even think so because like I don't think any like no none of the Monster Hunter games. The thing is, the difference between now and then is that it's doing well outside of Japan because Monster Hunter has
Hmm.
always done well in
In
Japan.
Japan, yeah,
It's just that
very well in
World and
Japan.
Wilds has made the Western audience realize that Monster Hunter is a great game.
Hmm.
So like I think that's the biggest difference. And that's also why I think Wilds and Worlds is so loved for everyone else because they also took a lot of the things and streamlined it a lot more. And I know there's a lot of Monster Hunter veterans that don't like some of the changes, but like a lot of the other stuff that they talk about, like that just sounds tedious and unnecessary. It's like when World came out, I heard a lot of people complained about the infinite whetstone because before you had to make them. I'm like,
Yeah,
that sounds so annoying.
people people who played Monster Hunter in the previous games, they do like the whole having to constantly get the new and
Yeah.
go hunting for inventory to get more new stuff, and it.
I don't mind that,
I'll
but
say
for
this.
like I don't mind it for stuff that matters. Like
Yeah,
potions and stuff like that. Or like consumables
yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm like, but
That
whetstones?
felt like
No.
yeah, that felt like it bogged down. It bogged down the game for me when I played back on Monster
Yeah.
Hunter 4. I I just I got to the point where I'm like, oh crap, I need to sharpen my blade. I don't, and I wasn't prepared, so I didn't have a whetstone with me, so I had to go and grab it and go and create it. One of the other things I'm so glad they did in World, and that is a continued thing in all the other new games, is that everything is not. Well, this was more like a limitation to the games previously, but each of the map sections, like on the map, it's
Yeah.
section 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All those were separated. You had to like load in. You had to
Yeah.
go from one section to another and it loaded in. Now, because of the hardware difference, we now don't need that kind of thing.
Yeah, well that was
But
probably
apparently,
because it was running on a 3DS.
yep, 3DS, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, yeah. But
And like the
I love what
PSP or
that.
Vita.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I love the
it's
changes that they've done. So good.
yeah. You know what okay, not to,
Mhm.
be a downer or anything like that.
Mhm.
The things about Monster Hunter for me makes me sad because it like the progression of Monster Hunter is exactly what I wish the progression of something like Pokemon was. But instead the game, like for instance Monster Hunter games are just getting better and better and better as they get more popular, and I feel like the Pokemon games are getting worse and worse as they sell more. uh
Don't worry. ZA now has changed everything. They're gonna
it's
do like
no
live battle kind of thing.
I
You
mean,
saw
honestly,
that, right?
Alchem, that looks cool, but
Yeah.
it just looks awful. Like the frame rate is so bad in the trailer. The draw distance is so bad in the trailer. Like when you do when it zooms on characters, you can literally see things disappear in the background, and like it's so distracting. And all the models and everything looks so terrible.
You're gonna get us. Nintendo's gonna get us for that. Shh.
Nintendo doesn't care.
It's true. I'll agree with you. Like that was a pipe dream I had a long time ago for Pokemon. That one day we'd be either able to control our Pokemon and dodge attack, like
Yeah,
actually dodge
like in the
attacks and
anime,
stuff.
I'm cool. Like
Yeah,
I said, I'm totally cool with this battle style.
yeah.
Like
But
especially in a
it looks.
especially in like a spin-off style. Like I don't want
Mhm,
I want the mainline games. No, the mainline games are turn-based. I totally get that. But like
mhm.
in the spin-off games, you could totally try things. They used to do this all the time with the mystery dungeon games and all that type of stuff. but
Yeah,
like
Pokemon actually
the
tried back
engine
then.
can't keep up. The engine can't
You had the
keep. I
Ranger
want
series, you
them.
had all that stuff.
I want them desperately to get either a new engine or do something with that. That engine sucks, and I understand that like they don't want to. I actually, you know what? I don't understand. I don't know why they still use that engine, other than the fact that they have to make a game every year, and like, I just want them to use a different engine because that engine is awful and just can't keep up with what they want to do.
I feel like what they.
I feel like they're being held back by that engine.
I feel like they are. I feel like they really are. I mean, one thing I think, and well, this is me hopefully for in terms of Pokemon, is if Pokemon ZA does really good and that battle system is liked and the performance of it doesn't just completely suck, then I kind of hope we get a Coliseum-based game that uses that same battle.
I mean, that
system.
would be cool. I mean, the problem
Like
is, Alchem, just
Yeah.
think about the Pokemon games and how much lag they are in Scarlet and Violet. Now add
know,
all the
I know.
effect, but now add a real-time battle system with all those effects. Like,
I know.
that
and
sounds
Nintendo's
painful
not-
to me. I mean,
It's
like
not
the thing,
Nintendo's fault, it's the Pokemon
it's
company.
Game Freak.
It's the
Game Freak.
Game Freaks. Yeah.
like Game Freak.
They're-
I
They
want
just-
to seriously believe that these devs are just there's too much of a time crunch for the Pokemon devs. Because
just
like
need
it
to sit
has
down
to
with
be
a
it
team.
has to be a yearly release and they don't have time to there's because you can see even with the games there's so many time cutting measures. It's like why all the Pokemon aren't animated with all the moves. Like
They honestly
it's
just
time
need
cutting.
to work on a new engine. It's time for a new game engine.
And
for
they
them.
desperately need a new game engine. But
Mhm.
like they don't have enough they aren't
They
willing
don't have enough money.
No, they aren't willing to
It's
spend the amount of money it is to hire a
It's-
new team to make a new engine. Because that's
not like
the
they
problem.
have the resources, Joe. They're not like a worldwide phenomenon or something that has millions and millions in the bank because of like
It's not
like,
the
all
literally
their
the
toys,
number one
cards.
the number
Yeah, it's
one
not-
thing.
If it was, then they would be able to. I mean, if we're talking about if they were under Nintendo. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean it's the saddest thing for me in Pokemon. Because the
They have
Pokemon
the-
games are like literally the worst thing about
We're getting-
Pokemon.
We're getting to the point. We haven't got. We're not getting to the point. We've gotten to the point where the technology available to them, the resources available to them, and
It's crazy.
What we get at the final product just doesn't make
It's-
sense. At
it's-
this point, they should be able to make something a lot better.
You know the thing that makes me so sad about the Pokemon games is whenever there's a new Pokemon game launched and there's a trailer, I'm like, this trailer looks like it's a Kickstarter project made by 5 guys. It looks like a fan project because of how terrible the graphics are and how laggy it is. But no, this is a Game Freak made project. And it's
They'll
like
buy it, Joey. They'll still buy it.
I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I won't, but that's the problem. I mean, most people don't care. That's the thing. And I understand that. And I get that I'm very strange when it comes to that. Like, I couldn't play Scarlet and Violet because it literally made me motion sick of how laggy the game was, of how, like, stop motion everything was. So, I mean, I'm okay. Like, if I can't play Pokemon games again because of this, that's fine. I can play the old games. I like the old games just as much, so it's fine. But it sucks that the Pokemon games are held so back by whatever is happening, whether it's the engine or the devs or whoever is making it, so they can't update this engine or get a new engine. It's holding them back so badly.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. So speaking of being held back, did you know, Alchem, that the Resident Evil movie reboot IP was being shopped around?
What do you mean shopped around?
There was a bidding war on the Resident Evil movie reboot for the movies. Would you like to take a guess who won?
Disney?
No. Good guess, though.
Warner Brothers?
No. Also good guess,
Then
though.
Paramount?
No, but still a good guess. Sony won it. Do you know who made the old Resident Evil movies? The ones that are really bad and everyone hates?
Sony.
Sony. They made them.
They bought the right.
They won the bidding war again. Like, they made all 6 of the terrible Resident Evil live action movies. And the Welcome to Raccoon City in 2021, apparently.
Not gonna get any good Resident Evil for a while, are we?
I mean, here's the problem. We say they're bad Resident Evil movies. They've made over $1 billion in revenue with the Resident Evil movies. And, like, the Resident Evil movies are kind of, they do tail that line of so bad it's good. You know? I'm not... It is, like, they literally... I am conflicted because I do want a good Resident Evil movie, because just imagine like some of those crazy things in the games that happen in a movie. Like, I mean, they basically are written as B movie action. Like, they're
they absolutely are.
B movie horror and action. Like, it's so stupid with some of the lines, especially
even the games are literally written as B movie stuff.
Oh yeah, they are. They 100% are. The remakes of the newer ones are a little more not B movie horror stuff. They're a little more serious.
Yeah.
They did serious it up a little bit, but it's still really stupid. It's like, instead of B movie, it's like B plus, you know, or like A. But it's still really like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I mean, that was constantly the whole idea. It is still a zombie movie, but the lines are corny and cheesy, and the plot is corny and cheesy, but it still makes sense enough to the point that you can follow along with the story. So you are supposed to be like scared at certain points, but there are going to be moments where the lines are funny and goofy, but that's the point.
Yeah.
And so I understand that the movies can be a little cheesy too. So
apparently
it's funny they went right back to Sony though.
Yeah, so it's under Sony, but it's being made by Sony Columbia Pictures. So it's a different production studio in Sony. Apparently the other ones were made by Screen Gems, which was the Sony production company that under Sony that made this one. So it's a different group of people, at least. And that's hilarious. So the Sony Columbia Pictures have made the Spider-Man universe films, Venom and Kraven, and Morbius.
No, not them.
And apparently none of those were good, but they were very good. But they were expensive to make, apparently.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, apparently people said Kraven the Hunter was good, but everyone just basically stopped caring about any of the Spider-Verse movies, except for Venom. Venom did well, but then there was Madam Web, then there was Morbius.
But I mean, the Spider-Man so the Spider-Man universe films, so we'll see. I mean, hey, to be fair, I mean, actually, then again, video game movies have had a higher bar of standard nowadays, with the Fallout TV show coming out and the Sonic movies and the Mario movie. So, like, there's actually a decently high bar nowadays, too, so...
I mean, but now they actually... there's also the whole thing of... Most of these are the game studios taking charge. Because back then it was like...
Yeah, that's true. Like, Nintendo had full control over the Mario movie.
I mean, Sega literally made their own movie studio for that.
Yeah, for the Sonic movies,
Yeah.
And literally Todd Howard was involved in the Fallout movie. Bethesda was literally there during the Fallout movie. Or not the movie, sorry, the TV series.
It wasn't a fact that they're getting better. It's more of the fact that the actual game companies behind the series.
Yeah, the people who understand the games are helping making the which you would think is a no duh, but apparently that's just a recent thing.
Yeah. No, that was not a recent thing in the past. Like, well,
Yeah.
I'd say like the past decade or so. I still
Yeah.
will always go to my go-to video that I love watching, even if it's a gigantic train wreck and nothing like the original, the Mario Brothers movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie. That thing
Oh, that is
was.
hilarious.
I love that movie because of how much
And
of a
to be
train wreck
fair,
it is.
the Doom, that one for FPS scene in the Doom movie is really cool.
Oh yeah, it was.
Like in the Doom, that one, like how long? It's like 5 minutes long, but that makes the whole movie worth it. It's so cool. And I still do not accept their apology for naming the BFG Big Force Gun, because we all know what it actually means. It's not the Big Force Gun, guys. Come on now. This game was made in 1990 something. It's not. We know what it stands for. Stop trying to rename it.
Wasn't it because they needed it wasn't rated R, was it? I don't think so.
I don't think so, which is one of the problems. That movie definitely
why.
needed to be rated R.
Yeah, it did.
Same with the Resident Evil movie. The Resident Evil movies better be rated R.
I mean, if anything, the recent rated R movies have shown they can sell well.
They can sell well.
It's just that people apparently were scared
Especially
because like, it's rated R.
Especially,
bad.
I mean, okay, especially with Resident Evil. You're not trying to sell Resident Evil to kids, so
yeah.
Hopefully they understand it. So apparently, also interesting to know, you were almost right. Warner Brothers was really trying hard, apparently, to grab the rights to the Resident Evil movies. But Sony kept it. Same with Netflix. Netflix was trying really hard to get the rights to Resident Evil.
If they made a series, I would have.
I think honestly, I feel like Resident Evil works better as a TV series.
Yeah, same.
But we'll see.
Sony
I'm curious
really
what version of Resident Evil they're going to decide on, because or at least what timeline. You know, honestly, I feel like they should just make a whole movie based on Resident Evil 4, because Resident Evil 4 is such a B horror movie style. It works so well as a movie. There's literally a beginning, middle, and end. Not saying the other games don't, but there is a straight up it's literally written like a movie. And the locations and stuff like that in Resident Evil 4, I think you can do very well. I feel like Resident Evil 2 would actually work pretty well as a movie too. Because also Resident Evil 2 would probably be the easiest to shoot because it's in a police station.
I'll be so honest. If Netflix had gotten their hands on it, we would have had a long standing series that they could have gone to so many. They could have literally just followed Leon for Resident Evil 2,
and then Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, to Resident Evil 4, and they could have just done a nice little series. And oh my god, it would have been so great. I would have loved to have watched it. Also, I wish someone does do Resident Evil 4 because I want to hear the
a small part of me wants them to do Resident Evil 7 and 8 only because I want to see the big vampire lady on. Yeah, just have the big vampire lady and the smaller 3 vampire ladies, and then instant $1 billion revenue guaranteed. Have a live action version of that, and bam.
I'm just thinking, what big lady? What are you talking? Oh,
yeah, her. I don't, Lady Demetrius or something like that. It starts with a D.
Trask.
Her and the 3 vampire ladies as well.
Oh yeah.
The internet loves them, so that would probably work. So speaking of billions of dollars, Alchem, this is kind of neither of us are very invested in this scene, but to prove that Valve did it better, Valve's done NFTs way better, Alchem, because the Counter-Strike 2's market cap for skins, stickers, cases, and everything. So the Counter-Strike market cap was $4.2 billion a couple days ago. So they did NFTs better than everyone.
I mean, the idea of a non-fungible token was, the pipe dream was that it was going to be something that you could put onto other things or something. If I remember correctly.
I mean, that's what some people tried to spin it.
Yeah, that was the pipe dream that people were trying to sell off on others. You could have this unique design or unique look or whatever the hell it was. and move it over to other platforms or other things, and it'll be yours, only yours, blah 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 blah.
I mean, that would never
But
work. That's not how video games
it would never
work.
work because you'd have to have every single video game platform working together in unison to create a like no, that's not gonna work.
For no value to them too, because they probably
yeah.
wouldn't take a cut, which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Exactly. In Counter-Strike, you already had a thriving community of dedicated players
With
and
crippling gambling addictions.
Yeah, and all you had to do was just give them a little form of uniqueness in terms of designs of camos or anything like that.
Well, there are
they're already
not to try to legitimize it. There are a lot of unique traits for the Counter-Strike stuff. It isn't just skins, because there's stickers you can put on it, and there's also wear and tear and all that type of stuff. Exactly. And now they also recently added basically gun buddies. So you can put like little jiggly things, like little keychains on them.
I was merely scratching the surface, but no, they
there's
gave
so
you
much
a
stuff.
plethora of uniqueness, and all in a game that most of these players are die-hard dedicated. They aren't leaving. They won't be stopping, and they love the game. So to have something that you could just basically claim as your own in terms of uniqueness, in terms of this is my identity, this is me, this is my look.
Yeah.
Then of course they're gonna definitely buy into it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy popular.
And it's not like Counter-Strike is a short-lived game. No, it's been here for years.
You know what the funny thing is, Alchem? Mm-hmm. The only game that was beating the player count during launch day of Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam was Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
It was the only game above Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah,
also, Counter-Strike 2, for a lot of people saying Counter-Strike 2 was going to die because CSGO, when it became Counter-Strike 2 from CSGO, Counter-Strike 2 it's breaking records like almost every year in terms of player count. Counter-Strike 2's player count on Steam broke its peak player count randomly, like on like a Tuesday night or something. Like it just randomly broke it. Like there was no events, there was no update. It just randomly broke it because everyone was just playing, and it's really funny. So yeah, that was just funny something because I keep a cautionary arm on it because I do play Counter-Strike, but I've never been into like the skin economy of the game. But it's always just been fascinating, mostly because anytime someone tries to talk when NFTs were hitting huge, I'm like, this just sounds like a way more complicated and annoying version of like Steam Marketplace. And like Valve has already done this, guys. Like you should just learn. Make a banana game like that one guy did.
Yeah, at this point.
Which still exists, by the way. That still exists.
You're telling me people are still spending money on that?
I think so, but it's not a lot. I don't remember, honestly. I haven't checked on it in super recently.
Okay.
So from Valve to EA. Alchem. EA's canceled so many games recently.
What have they done now?
So did you know?
Did I miss something?
Did you know Respawn was making a multiplayer FPS game in the Apex Legends universe, and it's been canceled before it was even announced? Did you also know they were making a Star Wars, a first-person shooter in the Star Wars universe apparently as well? And that was also canned last year as well, apparently. I did not know that. And I'm like, why did you cancel that? And they're also working on a single-player game in the Apex Legends universe. But that one is a unknown status. But unfortunately, it's most likely a canceled or a skeleton crew working on it. Because they're going all in on the new Battlefield game, apparently, and Apex Legends. And the sports games, of course, but I'm talking about the FPS side mostly. So they've canceled 3 games in the past year. Well, okay, 2 years, arguably.
Oh.
And it really sucks. Yeah. I'm okay. First of all, I don't understand why they're even working on a multiplayer FPS game, because Guys, you own Battlefield and Apex Legends. Why are you trying to fight yourself? Like, I don't understand companies that make the same game in when you're making a multiplayer game. I don't know why you would make the same multiplayer game or like a similar multiplayer game with the same company. Like, you're fighting yourself, guys.
You're diluting your own bathtub. I don't understand what the hell
Yeah,
you're doing.
I don't know why they're
You're
doing
not.
that. But like
They're
the single player game, the single player multiplayer, single player FPS game in the Apex Legends universe sounds interesting. And
yeah, they already canceled that. Titanfall 3 is canceled already.
yeah, but apparently it's a new one.
Titanfall 4?
No, Titanfall's dead.
Huh.
Titanfall doesn't exist.
I can dream, can't I?
They don't even call it the Titanfall universe. It's the Apex Legends universe.
I know, it's the Apex Legends
It's like
universe.
literally don't even use the Titanfall language at all.
Oh, I hate the fact they at this point they can't go back.
They can't. No one cares.
They can't. No one cares.
Or like the amount of people that care are way more too little, and the more people that know Apex. I mean, to be fair, I'm one of those people. I didn't know about Titanfall until I played Apex. Because I really wasn't into those. I really wasn't into those games at the time.
You were one of the reasons we don't have Titanfall 3.
I was. I didn't buy Titanfall 1 or 2.
Can't believe it. But no, it's I don't understand what single player genre game they want to do, considering that they've been out of that practice for years at this point. And it makes no sense to make another battle arena shooter when you already have two, essentially.
Yeah. Why are you making a multiplayer FPS game, guys? You have Apex Legends and Battlefield.
Just put whatever unique idea that you had for this new one into your old games. Hell, I mean, you constantly need refreshing new things in Apex to keep driving the player base to keep wanting to
Apex,
play.
And right now Apex is dwindling.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want to say that, but I thought I noticed that the player base for Apex is dwindling, and people are jumping to new games. I mean, I've seen apparently like a lot of streamers. I was gonna play this like months and months ago when it first came out, but now I'm starting to see everyone jumping into frag punks. Or people trying to jump into that.
That's because it had a Steam release recently.
Oh, I was getting into the beta Steam. Back then. I was gonna stream that, but I was like, nah, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it had a Steam release recently, and it had a big marketing push for it.
So that's why people are jumping into it.
It had a Steam release and a big marketing push.
But I don't know. I feel like I said before. I feel like the battle arena shooter is finally dying. The drive for it is dying down. It's not going to go away.
I mean, the problem is that how do you fight? Like, what do you mean by battle arena shooter? Like team based, like COD?
Team based, like team based deathmatch kind of thing, or not deathmatch, but team based. What is it called? The survival battle arena, kind of like the Fortnite kind of formula, where you have the small
battle royale.
Battle Royale, thank you. I was struggling to remember the term.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with Battle Royales is that, like, they weren't making a Battle Royale from what I know. They weren't making that. But it was a multiplayer FPS game. So, like, multiplayer FPS experience. And it was basically...
they didn't call it an experience, did they?
No, multiplayer FPS experience. That's what they called it.
I hate it already.
Well, okay, first of all, they didn't call it anything. These are devs talking on, like, what's that, like, on Twitter and, like, other social platforms, because they've been saying they've been working on an unannounced project and they just got canceled, so they're looking for more work. And so everyone's kind of just like putting things together because it was unannounced, but they've been working on it for like a year plus. And so apparently it all just got canned. Because they've been hiring. They've been hiring, and it was a new IP apparently as well. That got canned as well, which is interesting.
Just like Concord.
I wish Concord was canned before it came out.
I feel like that started a trend. People saw that, hey, they invested all this into this new IP, and then it just tanked
Well,
to now
honestly, the
just
new
kinda
IP
scared.
was the coolest thing about Concord. Did you watch the one episode that was based on Concord? The
Yeah, I did.
I
You're talking
actually
about,
I can't remember what it's called. Like
I don't
what the
remember,
series is
but I know
called.
what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, where they
Yeah,
actually were showcasing Concord and everything,
I actually
and
liked it.
they made it. Yeah, they made it look really good.
If that was a single player game, I would have played that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't.
It was a hero-based shooter, so
Yeah. And honestly, I wish first person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. That sounds awesome. Made by Respawn? That sounds awesome.
You're talking about the Star Wars one?
Yeah.
Okay.
First person shooter set in the Star Wars universe made by Respawn. That sounds cool. That sounds great.
That honestly would have I mean, you have a pre-established universe. All you need to do is just add your characters and story.
Like, also Respawn made the Jedi Survivor games too. Like,
Mhm.
they already proven
Yeah.
they can make good Star Wars games.
They can definitely do
And
good Star Wars games.
and they're
I don't understand
already.
why
Go ahead.
no one's taking a risk. I'm just saying, no one's taking a risk.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know why. That doesn't even sound like a risk, Alchem. That sounds like a surefire bet. A first person shooter, a first person shooter set in the Star Wars universe made by Respawn. That's like, why aren't you doing that? Like, that's so weird. Apparently, as part of layoffs in 2024. Makes me sad.
Sorry, the investors didn't approve.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, Alchem.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
No.
It's time.
Is it time already to ruin my day?
So, Alchem, for people that don't know, we started a little bit later than normal because Alchem had some stuff to do. So what I did
Sorry about that.
during that was I decided to look up. You can see this on the Patreon if you want to check it out. You can see me saying, do I want to look up for more stories? And then I debated about it, and I said, you know what? Let me just Google a couple things. And this Googling turned into many clicking of links and clicking on hyperlinks to see stuff, to me finding two things, which is crazy to me. One thing that's crazy to me, and another thing that's kind of makes sense, but it's really crazy in a different way. So, Alchem, do you know EveOnline? I assume you know EveOnline.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Do you know they're making a crypto game? The developers of EveOnline are making an game called EveFrontier, which is a blockchain-based survival MMO in development. Yeah, exactly. And you know what the best thing is, Alchem? I tried during these searches. I can't find any gameplay at all of this game. It's only about the blockchain technology and the economy. And the reason I found this out is because they hired a central bank economist for this game. And I'm like, why are you hiring this person for this video game? Like, it sounds so awful in so many ways. And the like basically every article I've seen is them trying to justify the blockchain stuff. There is one good thing though, Alchem. This is not an NFT game. There's no NFTs, but it is a blockchain game. So I think there's going to be a crypto coin attached to this at some point. And I just can't believe these guys are doing this. Why are you doing this to the Eve community? The EveOnline community is the most dedicated community I've ever seen. Don't make them angry. They're just gonna leave. Like, you guys made a game in like the early 2000s and it's still running profitably, relatively so, in a subscription-based MMO. Like, this sounds like the worst thing in existence.
When you have a diehard dedicated group who will follow you to the end of the earth with whatever the hell you do, and it's a perfect time to exploit it.
Not with crypto. They are exploiting it already in EveOnline. EveOnline nickels and dimes you.
Yeah, just rug pull them for one last show.
One
And,
last
whoever's in
time,
charge
one last
gets
rug pull.
just one last job. That's it. Just one
Oh
last job.
God, oh
And that's
God.
exactly that may be what they're doing. Actually, they might just
I
be
don't,
doing this.
I
They're gonna
don't,
just rug pull
I
and
don't.
then dip.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Alchem.
Mm.
EveOnline is still very successful. Like, they're still making money on that. I don't see why they'd rug right now. You know what I mean?
Money.
No, but then I don't think they're going to make a lot of money out of this. Because like you're also because here's the thing, Alchem. The EveOnline community is also an older community. It's a lot of older guys.
So
So
they don't know. So they can be easily exploited. Exactly.
I don't think so. I think they're just going to ignore it.
So they don't know how it works. They don't know. They'll probably just get tricked into being told that they can make lots of money. They can just say stuff like "to the moon" again, and then people will fall for it.
I don't think so because none of those guys won't even know what that means. These guys aren't
implemented in the. You implemented
in the game.
You slowly, you slowly trick them by like putting in mini games that show them how to do so, and then explain to them, "Hey, we now need you to do it for real." I'm bastardizing my explanation here, but
I understand what you mean.
They're just gonna trick them into finally doing. They're gonna trick them in game to then finally do it for real.
Yeah.
Now this sounds like a cartoon. This sounds like evil cartoony kind of stuff. But lately, with all the stuff I've seen lately, I feel like that is.
It's not that far fetched. It's not that far.
It's not that far fetched anymore. Like this is like I used to think like I used to watch like the Looney Tunes style of cartoons, and you saw the evil corporations and evil businessmen and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's no way that stuff would be for real. I'm seeing stuff like this happening for real now. So I wouldn't put it past like people who would just want to make a quick buck out of innocent people or people who just don't know. It's like cartoony evil is real, Jelly. It's real. I swear to God, if I'm right, I'm gonna go punch the nearest thing next to me if we find out later that it's right. We'll find out later that EveOnline has rug pulled their community or something.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I mean, the problem is, Alchem, is that there's, other than the couple articles I found, no one cares about this. That's why I think like this is such a big mistake. No one cares about eFrontier, which is like the blockchain game. Like literally no one cares, and I've seen a lot of people say that they stopped playing EveOnline because of this. Like they just canceled their subscriptions and everything. It's like I think they're actively killing EveOnline, which is sad because EveOnline is a crazy. I love reading about EveOnline. I'll never play it. You know, I don't want to play a spreadsheet simulator, but
it honestly that's I think that's a good thing because with all the stuff that's happened in terms of cryptocurrency, NFT stuff, most of them, especially meme coins and stuff, most of the stuff I ever see nowadays is just it's there for a short, brief glimmer or instance.
There's like a
gone.
spark,
and most of the time it's just turns out to just be a scam. Most especially meme coins.
Well, meme coins are literally just scams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just insiders and rug pulls. Sometimes both.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time,
so I don't expect anything to come from that, and I expect people nowadays to be more educated, know that
we'll see.
It's not worth it.
To be fair, right now there is no crypto. Like actually, it's using blockchain technology, so everyone assumes there's going to be crypto stuff added onto it, but there's guaranteed no NFTs though. So we'll see. I'll be keeping an eye on it, and if anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. But I think the funniest thing is they thought hiring a banker was going to be like gain hype for the game or something like that. Like hiring a bank economist or something. It's like, guys, what? Question mark? I'm so confused. I don't understand what's that's supposed to be a good thing or not. Because he's going to be the head of the economy of the game, apparently, or something like that. To be fair, the EveOnline economy is like a big deal, but
yeah,
you don't need a banker to do that.
And I'm just doing this now. Every time you question why would someone do that, I'm just like,
yeah,
money.
It's true. It's
money.
True. All right,
It's
Alchem.
lit. Yes.
So this one to
No.
me it's weird and kind of sad because it looks good, and that makes me sad. So I'm pretty sure we've talked about this, but axieinfinity, right? Those guys. They are making a new game
No.
in the axieinfinity universe,
Oh, no.
and it is called axieinfinity Atia's Legacy. And I'm gonna send you this, Alchem. It's the trailer. And just skip through it. I'm gonna show people this too.
It's okay for the chat. Well,
I
it
mean,
should be okay for the
I
audio to go through.
I would say you probably should mute it just in case, because I don't trust, and
Okay. All right.
this company I don't
Gotcha.
trust at all. But I'm gonna show
Gotcha.
it. I'm gonna show it a little bit.
All right.
I'm showing it muted though. But like, let me know when you got it. I need to
Hold
figure
on.
out how
Let
I
me-
can share my screen with you one day. I need to figure this out at some point. Like,
Oh, it's
reliably.
allowed to be.
Yeah,
Okay,
that-
sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just need to. Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready, and we're gonna hit
Hold on.
play. We're gonna hit play together and watch this thing. It's only like 4 minutes long.
Okay. Let me
Because,
just lower. Wait, was this it? No, that's right. What the fudge? Oops. I didn't realize there was a bunch of stuff and it had a timestamp on it. So I
Oh,
accidentally
did it?
skipped.
Sorry.
Oh no! It didn't. No, I'm stupid. I clicked. I was looking at something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Pause. Damn you. Sorry, I'm incompetent when it comes to this stuff.
It's okay. This does remind me that we do need to figure out an easier way for me to, if I bring up a video, like, you can just watch it through my perspective, so we don't have to try to sync up or anything like that. I need to remember to figure this out.
Window capture. Yeah.
Oh, do you not have a thing set up? I thought you did.
Not on this one. I usually
like, wait,
delete
it's
them because
Oh, okay.
I usually just delete them really quickly. I really should have
I just
something,
keep
but
it.
I
have a permanent one
there.
on. I have a permanent one on it. But that's also
Alright,
because I use a
look.
different browser.
Okay, ready to
Okay,
go when you are.
Right.
So count
3,
down.
2, 1, play. So this thing, like, when you look at it, it looks like a decent game, and it makes me sad.
So yeah, so far from what I'm seeing, yeah, it does
Yeah.
look really.
Like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Animal
this
Crossing
part.
looking thing?
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like Animal Crossing and like Diablo put together.
yeah. What the?
It looks.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got like the collectibles. It's got the mushroom, or like picking up the mushroom. It's an MMO, so those are
Oh,
apparently
right.
other players as well.
you have little mini games.
Got the mini games.
Fishing mini game. Oh, you do
Yeah.
have mini games. Okay.
Yeah, there are the fishing, like there's like
Fishing, jump rope. You can just chill with everyone. There's Sinister Press.
yeah,
And
and then here we go. Like it's an action game. It's like an action RPG game with level ups and everything.
this actually looks like it would be very interesting.
Yeah, and then you realize that this
Puzzle
is an NFT game. It's
I'm
very
assuming that-
obviously mobile, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Like you
Yeah.
literally
Yeah,
have
no,
the,
it's
like
very-
you have the like little buttons at the bottom right and the controller at the left side. So it's very obviously mobile. But
Mhm.
this trailer makes it look decent,
Yeah.
which is scary in my opinion, because this is a
Very.
crypto slop game. But it looks decent.
It does look decent. So it sucks that this is an NFT game basically.
Yeah, like it made me sad. Like this is an NFT game. Like you don't have to watch the whole thing, but like
Oh, thank goodness.
yeah. Like, but it's
Kill it.
It's so sad. And I'm like,
A wasted
they
potential.
they could make an actually decent game out of this. But no,
Yeah,
instead they're making it a crypto slop game. And
what have you?
it's, I hope, let me put it this way. I can't wait to watch the CoffeeZilla about this game at some point. Because I know it's going to happen, or something's going to happen behind the scenes or something like that. Or the guy that I watch for the crypto video games that I watch, the Jovian, or that guy. I can't wait for his video on this too. So I can tell you all about it, because there's no way this is going to go smoothly. And honestly, I can't wait to find out that this trailer was fake somehow. Like, if it turns out this trailer was fake, I'll actually be, if this is fake, I'll be, if this turns out to be a fake trailer, or like something they did to, like, change it.
Oh, that would be so crazy if that turns out to be.
I can't wait to see if that is a, like, this just turns out to be entirely fake. I can't wait to see if that's actually true or not. But like, it's gonna be interesting, because I know the original Axie game is like bombing hard right now. Like, the economy of that game just crashed hard. The last time I checked on it. So I think they have to make a new game to like try to bring up hype again for the coin. Because I think it's on the same chain. I'm pretty sure it's on the same chain. And it's the same crypto NFT nonsense with, like, I'm pretty sure the characters that you see playing are the NFTs again, and all that type of stuff. So yeah. And one interesting thing is that it has over 1 million prospective users, which I don't know what that means. I assume that means like signups, because it's not available to play right now.
Yeah, that sounds like,
so it sounds like signups.
Gave their email or something like that.
Yeah, so it sounds like signups. But apparently the alpha playtest is in summer 2025, and it's been in development since 2024. So it's only been in development for like a year. But we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to be real, Alchem. I might try to see if I can get in this alpha test, just to see.
Yeah. I'm just trying to.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Alchem. If I have to set up a crypto wallet to play this game, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do that. But if I can play it without needing that, but then again, it's a mobile game, and I don't want to use my phone on this stuff. What are they going to take? I don't trust them.
Your number, your identity, your NFT.
Well, like I said, I'll look into it.
They'll take your crypto.
As all this crypto stuff is, I will be looking into it. And that's right, Alchem, I have one more story. Like I said, you gave me time. This is what you get for delaying it. I got even more stories to tell.
No.
Yep. And this one is actually a follow-up of something we've talked about before. Do you remember Off the Grid? It is the battle royale that I played on the Epic Games launcher. That it's a crypto NFT game but it doesn't have the NFT stuff, the blockchain NFT stuff enabled yet. It's a battle royale game. Do you remember this one? Because I actually played it a little bit.
Vaguely. Oh. Vaguely.
And I said the problem with this game is that it's got the problem of it's a decent game, but it's an NFT game, so who knows what's going to happen when the NFT stuff launches. So, first of all, the NFT stuff still not launched. It's still early access on Epic Game Store, but no NFT stuff.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
All right.
But that doesn't mean players cannot sell the stuff, because the NFTs are available, but the marketplace isn't. So a straight up black market of NFTs has come up from this game, Alchem. Using Solana, from what I can tell, thousands of dollars have been spent on this game already through the black market, apparently. And it's hilarious. And like on their Discord, apparently there's literal spam bots with the message "want to buy gun tokens with USD." And gun tokens is their cryptocurrency, which isn't available yet, I think. Or it is available, like I said, but the blockchain, their blockchain is not up yet. So it's so funny because like the guns token doesn't exist yet, or it's crypto slop, so like it's soft launched or whatever, you know, it's soft launched or whatever. So but the items in the games can be traded on OpenSea already.
I'm just wondering, how will they know who's this? I mean, I'm guessing there's already a system that basically deems the item yours before the game is even out.
Yes.
I'm assuming, because I'm just like, how the heck can you keep track of whose is what then? But I'm assuming that there's
it's
at least an infrastructure built.
It's a mess.
But what? Well, okay.
So here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I can tell, the game is free to play, right? Like, for instance, when I played the game, I just downloaded it on Epic Games Launcher, hit play, and, you know, played the game for a couple rounds, and I was like, okay, I kind of understand what this game is. I might download it again just to see if they've changed anything. And they've made a solo mode, which is interesting too, because it was forced teams. It was forced teams of 3s the first time I played, and I hate that. So I stopped playing Apex. So I might try it again just to see. But so what you can buy right now is a monthly OTG. I don't know what OTG stands for, honestly. Pro subscription for $10 a month. It's something? I don't know. It's probably some acronym or something like that.
On the grid.
No, it's actually off the grid. That's the game. So OTG is off the grid probably. It's off the grid pro subscription for $10 a month. You get 8 NFT items. So that's how they're getting the items. Because you can't buy them or sell them on their marketplace because it doesn't exist yet, but they can give out the items already. And it comes with 8 NFT items, and there's only 550 of each of the items that were minted. So there's rarity to it. Apparently one of the whales of the game has apparently been offered $60K for their account or all their stuff on their account. But they didn't sell. And like, because you have to remember, every single item in this game is an NFT. Basically everything. So like guns, skins, the parts, everything is. So yeah. It's interesting to see. So yeah, a black market exists for a game that isn't out. Okay, let me just say why I found it so funny.
I just find it so ridiculous.
A black market economy exists for a game, a free-to-play game that is an early access, that doesn't have its own marketplace, that gives items out for $10 a month if you pay them a monthly subscription. And all of these are minted with exclusive differences. And some of them are so old that they're actually called legacy, and they don't work anymore. Because there were also guns with modified stats. Look, there were also guns with modified stats or alternative attachments that were discontinued, which have since been rebranded to legacy or retro skins of stock guns that remain in the game. So there's already stuff that are in this early access game that's been discontinued, apparently.
How can you discontinue something that hasn't even come out?
I don't know. I'm so confused. Like another thing is like I'm also not very attached. Like I'm not deep diving into this at the moment. I might at some point just to see how things are going. But like I said, if at any point I need to create a crypto wallet or anything like for instance, I'm not joining their Discord or anything like that, you know? So yeah, I'm very surface level of this stuff.
Okay. I'm
But
still a little.
the Guns network is soon though, apparently. The Guns network is their blockchain stuff. So it's being launched on Avalanche, which I don't know what that means.
What? Yeah, I was about to be like, what is that?
The Guns network launch on Avalanche. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So apparently, people are already trading the NFT items on OpenSea from what it looks like they're trading in Solana mostly.
I still don't get it. This is a game that isn't even out. It's not even nope. It's
an early access.
It already has stuff that's or sunset or whatever you want to call it that just no longer works. I don't get it. Like where do they think they're gonna make any income from? Who would buy it? I mean, this is a game at the end of the day. So if it doesn't work in the game, why would you want it? It's not even popular to be considered like a collectible. The only thing I can think of is people think they're
okay. So the reason they're trying to get it is because you have to remember these NFT items have stats attached to it.
But so it's not going to be in the game though.
No. But
I'm referring to the ones that you mentioned before that are.
Well, no. They're discontinued in terms there's no more being minted.
Oh, okay.
So, like, from what I can tell, that you can still use the items. I think.
Okay.
The problem is, I don't know. Like the problem is also like it's all being like I don't know. I have to decipher all the crypto talk. Here, let me read it again. Let me find it again. There were also guns with modified stats or alternative attachments that were discontinued, which have since been rebranded to legacy and retro skins of stock guns that remain in the game. So I think they were discontinued and then they rebranded the discontinued items as legacy or retro skins. I think, which means that you can use them now. I think. Those that own items released during the closed playtest, hopefully they will never return to the game. Okay. Said that isn't the case. I'm confused.
Oh my god, it's
okay. He told
this thing is
so cooked that the studio reserves the right to release items that were never officially released, which is defined by adding it to the battle pass as monthly content packs. Convict gear. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused. But all I know, but the thing is that the reason people are doing it is because you have to remember all these NFT items have stats and attachments and they're all unique. So what people are trying to do is they're trying to get all these stuff so they can sell it when the main trading launches, when the main blockchain system launches, so they can sell it for the Guns tokens. Which I want to say it is against the terms of service of the game to do this, but people are saying it's worth it to try anyway. I mean, to be fair, like I said, someone was offered $60,000 for their stuff.
Whether that's actually legitimate or just something that they're saying to try to inflate.
They could be trying to gaslight themselves so they can get more people, some more suckers in here.
Yeah, because that's literally for most of the NFT style games that I've ever seen, it usually is they try to lie to the people.
Yeah, they're straight up lying, Math.
I think that's like. Well, I won't just flat out just say that's just a scam or that report of someone buying one for $60,000 is fake.
You have to take it with a grain of salt, though.
Yeah. I've seen it way too many times where people just inflate a story or make up stuff to try to make an NFT based game or NFTs in general just seem like they have more value than they really do. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt, like you said.
Okay, so what? Okay, I figured it out. The things that I talked about with discontinued, they were talking about the mints. So there are straight up just rarer items in the game because it's an NFT game. Of course, there's rarer things, but these things have straight up. It looks like they're either skins, but I don't know if the stats actually matter or not. Because apparently there is other things like a mask that is only 300. There's only 300 of a mask for your character or something like that.
Mhm.
But I do know that there are guns that do straight up have stats on them that are NFTs. So I don't know.
I kind of
But-
want.
Yeah.
I kind of.
The sad
I
thing
would
is that
say-
the game is all right. The game's
Yeah.
interesting, but like I'm so confused about all this stuff.
What honestly what they should do is just, and this is like for like, I'm not trying to guide them into, but this would honestly be the best plan. Build a good game first and foremost that works, that doesn't
Yeah.
have issues. Make it appealing to the gamer base. The problem is that's hard. You have a lot of other competition, especially if you're going to do like the same genre that every other game company has been doing lately. But if you do it and you hit it out of the park and you start developing a very loyal player base, then sure, start shoving in the little personal touches, the NFTs, if you want to. Because
Yeah.
honestly, NFTs are literally, in terms of a game, just something, just basically just uniqueness and flair that most gamers, especially in a game that they love, that it's become part of them, because some people stick to that one game that they love the most. If they can represent themselves and and like show off their individuality, they will pay. They
Yeah.
will pay a lot for it. And sure, you can add the whole NFT gimmick where yes, these things start to have value, which means that people would want to invest in something or would want to buy one from someone, or eventually it becomes like a tradable commodity. But
Yeah.
first, you got to build that player base. Most of the time, I always see it. It's just like they just make some shitty little game
Yeah.
and just put in the entire NFT infrastructure into it, shove it in, and it just dies because there's either
Well, it's not a good game.
yeah, it's not a good game, or they just didn't give a crap. Well, it's usually that. It's just not
Yeah.
a good game because they just didn't even bother with the game part.
Like the most
They just-
successful NFT game so far was Axieinfinity by a very long like a long shot. Like it was like it actually had a player base compared to most of the games. But like
Yeah,
the problem
and-
was that no one was playing the game for fun. They were playing because they were told they could make money with it. And so once they did it, well, like once they played enough for their job, they stopped playing. So no one was playing the
Yeah.
game casually. And when you don't have a casual base, that's not a good thing.
Everything dies because
Yeah.
no one is there anymore for the.
You need people to
just
have
go into
casual
an empty
game.
world.
So the
Yeah.
biggest thing for off the grid is what if you never want to interact with these NFTs ever? Is the game fine if you never interact with this stuff? And I'll probably try. Okay, so Alchem, I'm going to tell you right now. As long as I don't have to make a crypto wallet, apparently
You would try it.
the main net, so their marketplace blockchain system, is going to be launching Q1 2025. We're only a couple of weeks away from that not being a thing.
like,
Like
isn't
we're
that
we're in the late Q1 right now.
Yeah.
So it should be releasing in a couple weeks at the latest. So maybe I'll give you an update to see how the game is when you don't interact with it at all, or if it forces you to make one. Because I'll tell you, like if it forces you to make one, I'm not playing this game. I refuse to make a crypto wallet. I'm not doing it. So
Understandable.
So yeah, I'm interested in this stuff, but not enough to actually get into it. I'm interested at an arm's length because I like to see I like to see a train wreck. And I have one final story when it comes to crypto stuff, Alchem, and it's the funniest. This one I promise is the funniest one
But it's funny, huh? All right, go.
because
What
Sam
is it?
Bankman-Fried is in the news again. You know him, right?
Shouldn't he be in jail?
He is in jail.
Okay.
because
Wait, what do you do?
he did an interview with Tucker Carlson,
You know,
and it wasn't approved, so he got sent to solitary confinement because it wasn't approved.
did he? What? Wait, what?
Which
How did that
I don't
happen?
even know how that happens, but apparently it wasn't approved, and he got sent to solitary. This particular interview was not approved. What
How
said
did
the
that happen? Did he
bureau,
just?
a spokesperson for the Bureau of Prisons.
How does that happen? Like, I know
I have no
you
idea.
can have visitors and stuff, but I'm guessing either Carlson didn't
It
file the
wasn't
right paperwork to
it
make
wasn't
them.
live streamed or anything like that, so it was just a video call that they did, and when it went live, he apparently got in trouble for it,
Oh.
from what I can
Huh.
tell.
I
And he's
didn't have
on.
access.
By the way, he's on year 2 of his 25-year sentence right now.
This is not good. This is not going well for him.
Yeah,
I
well,
it's
I
already
mean,
really gone. It's already gone really, really bad considering what has happened. But
I mean, not to get too into it because I don't think, but he's gone far right recently.
oh, for God's sake!
To come out against the woke agenda is one of his quotes.
Don't worry, he'll get pardoned, I guess, or something.
He's
That's
been
his
trying.
plan.
He's been trying.
Yeah,
He's legitimately been trying to get it pardoned.
That's literally the game plan. When something goes far in that direction, especially when they're in trouble, they're just going. At least in the current era, it's because they're trying to get pardon.
Yeah.
They want to get that pardon.
He's praised Trump and Elon, so you know exactly what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny that he did an interview and got sent to solitary confinement because it wasn't approved. Like, you're
Thanks,
already
Tucker.
you're in prison already, man. Do you want to get more years put on you?
I'm just wondering who fucked up there. Was it him for not reporting it?
Yeah, I'm
Was
curious.
it Carlson for not like filing a request for it? I'm assuming that there had to be some paperwork that would have to be requested to approve such a thing, and someone didn't do it. I
don't know how this was.
I doubt Freed had any like ability to like make a request or anything. So I feel like it was more on Carlson's team to have done that. But they fucked up. He just hopefully he's he's already there for a long time. So
yeah. So at least we'll see. 25 years. I don't know if he's actually available for bail at any point. I don't think so though. We'll see.
But then wasn't it like a huge?
It's a
ridiculous
huge
crime.
Yeah, it's a huge sum.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
So that is all the stories I have for today. I figured.
Oh, thank goodness! I thought you were going to make me sadder with more sad stories. Thank you.
I mean, we could talk about what's his face in South Korea if you really wanted to. I was not really sure.
Yeah, Johnny Somali. Yeah, the worst example. Literally of the one streamer who is making every streamer look like an ass. Specifically, live streamers who like to go around the world.
The IRL streamers.
He's literally ruining tourism.
He's literally ruining tourism. Yeah.
He's a streamer
for Japan, Korea, and he's literally ruined tourism.
He has single-handedly started a movement for Japanese businesses to just refute Americans. To just basically, they just have some of them have signs that say, "You speak English? You only speak English? No, out, go, bye." Because this one idiot decides, "Hey, I'm gonna make live stream content where I just be an ass and get reactions out of people."
So, do you know the lawyer that's doing this? Legal Mindset. He's a lawyer. Legal Mindset.
Yeah, I've been watching.
So he tweeted out because his trial was on the 6th, the first day. Ramsey's first day of trial just concluded. He was 1 hour late and came in with his roommate Hank.
Hungover.
Hungover. Both Ramsey's lawyer and Ramsey had no idea about the new charges, so they pushed the next trial date for 3 weeks from today to April 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny pled guilty to all the other charges. So not the not the ones that they didn't know, but all the ones that they did know of, he has pled guilty to. He faced 4 charges: 2 counts of obstruction of business, 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act, Today he pled guilty to 1 count of obstruction and 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act. One count of obstruction was the convenience store thing, and the 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act was the dead fish harassment and the disturbing the subway/bus.
I'm over here just thinking. My mind just goes back to that scene in Dodgeball where the two announcers are watching the most absurd thing happen. And like,
Yeah,
it's an interesting play, Cotton. Let's see how it turns out.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't know what his, because like if he's gonna go to jail now.
I don't know what he thinks. Someone's going to bail him out. He thinks something's going to happen. No, he's a nuisance streamer.
Yeah.
That no platform gives a crap about anymore. He basically gives everyone associated with him, a black eye in image wise. And there's nothing of value of him at this point. So, I don't mean to sound disparaging, but he himself has done it. He has even been recorded saying, "I am a nuisance on purpose because it gives me money."
Yeah.
So he's expecting someone to bail him out, but at this point, no. He's burned every bridge. He's destroyed every relationship. Anyone who even gave him a shred of a chance said, "No, we're done." And the only people now who are behind him are the people who just want to see this train wreck get to the end of the station.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
That end is literally in a jail cell.
Yeah, so
he's already, like I said, he's admitted. He's made it.
I mean, he pleaded guilty. He pled guilty.
He pleaded guilty
to 3 of the 4.
He showed up an hour late. He showed up hungover.
Well, not just that. Not just that. He live streamed himself on some platform. I don't know. No, not on Kick. It was some platform. Kick anymore. He's been banned on everything basically.
Yeah, he's banned on everything. He apparently showed up and he was still making a giant joke of everything because he dressed up. At least if you're gonna go to court, at least dress up. No, apparently he dressed up in like an oversized suit.
Yeah, it was a suit that obviously wasn't his. Like it was a suit that was way too big for him.
And he constantly, at the request of the court, they kept telling him, "Take off your hat." He does, and then he just proceeds to put it on like a few minutes later. So it kept happening, and that's not. You're not looking good in front of the judge, which is the one place you may have wanted to like try to look like you're a decent person and not the scumbag everyone has constantly said and people are pushing that you are.
Yeah,
but. I like I said, interesting game plan. Let's see where this goes. It's just going to end him up in a jail cell.
So he went live on Party, which is apparently a new thing that's trying to fight IRL streaming on Twitch and Kick. Yeah, when he went live on Party, he said he was going to live stream. He was going to stream the trial, which isn't allowed. He then streamed. He then streamed before the trial of him getting drunk, and he vomits on stream during this in his roommate's apartment.
Does this man really not? I feel like he does not give a flying fuck about
he's an idiot. He thinks he's untouchable, but he's not untouchable. Yeah. He's very touchable. That sounds wrong.
This is a joke or something. He's literally going to jail. It doesn't matter if it's not in the U.S. It's still jail.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
So,
I hope this just makes it so people will stop doing this. Because there's so many people recently that have started doing stuff like this, and I'm like, I hope
you do get money because people the sad part of it does make revenue because
it did work.
People like seeing people act like a fool. Yeah. People like seeing people do stupid shit, and
I mean, I don't mind that, but you don't do it in public. Like, if you're doing stupid stuff, do it with friends in a private location. People do stupid stuff all the time, but don't do it in public where you're actually just messing with people. It's like all those prank channels. Though to be fair, most of those were fake. Most of those were fake, to be fair, but the ones that weren't, yeah,
it's just. Stupid. It's
dumb.
I don't know what to say.
I hope he goes to jail. And I'll also be keeping an eye on this, so we'll give updates as it goes. But let's do some shout outs. Alchem, you do shout outs first.
Hi everyone, my name is Alchem. I'm a little Tanuki VTuber currently on the local podcast here. This wonderful Two Buds One podcast where I co-host alongside the Techno Jelly. For those who watch my own streams, thank you so much. And those who may be watching this, well, wherever we are, whether on YouTube or any other platform that we end up being, you can always catch me on my own individual streams over on Twitch, where I stream a wide variety of different games. Well, Twitch, YouTube, you can also catch me on TikTok, which, by the way, thank you guys for all the love and support there. And you can also see me posting random stuff over on Blue Sky and on Twitch. And yeah, if you want to support my content and support the you can see through Twitch and stuff to support me. But if you want to support me here, you can always go over to Jelly's channel over on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for all your support for us over here. But
yeah,
more importantly, over to Jelly.
Yes, I am the Techno Jelly. Please, if you like to support Two Buds One Podcast, go over to my Patreon at the Techno Jelly. You see before and after scenes. This week's before scenes was me finding all these crypto stories just because I had a bunch of time. So I just started Googling random things and I just found this stuff, which was very entertaining for me. And if you'd like to find me on other places, you're on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. And once I do, I'll be doing a Q&A video. I upload a news on video games and video game industry stuff, as well as video essays about topics. The last video essay I did was about Marvel Rivals and multiplayer PvP games. Other than that, I am on Twitch where I stream at nighttime nowadays. I do not multi-stream on Twitch or on YouTube and Twitch. I just stream on Twitch whenever I want to now. And if you want to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky if you'd like to check me out in any of those social media platforms. Thank you everyone for watching Two Buds One Podcast, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys. See you next time.